She's always looking at these kind of things. And when there's a movie that she really wants to see, but she can't find it anywhere, she goes to YouTube now because she almost always finds it. Even if it hasn't been in the theaters yet. Some people are actually, with the press junkets, when movies get released, you get a copy of the screener. You know, digital copy, whatever. You always get a copy of the screener. I think some of those people are kind of breaking that little tradition there, and they're releasing the screeners on YouTube as well. But then YouTube used to come along and just delete it. Send you a warning. If you do it again, that's pirated. We won't have it. We'll close down your account. They're not doing that anymore. But they're sticking their commercials and ads in your stolen movie. Go figure that. Okay. But yeah, Devilon has said a lot of stuff in the Spreaker.com chat. If you're listening from iHeart or Stitcher or any of those other places, do yourself a favor and head on over to Spreaker.com and search HTLA. You will find us and we'll be in the live chat here. She coined the term Freddy. Yeah, Freddy Krueger. They'll be on social media while watching the movie. Absolutely. When it pertains to Unfriended here, I really think that we're going to see a situation where a lot more people are going to continue getting all of their media from the internet. You know, we're every month that goes by, more and more places all through the United States and indeed up into Canada are getting broadband. They're getting 30, 50 megabit per second. They're getting 100, 150 megabit per second service in a lot of those places. In and around New York City here, 50 to 150 megabit per second is pretty much standard connection. It's just that's what you can get, and it's affordable. And hey, boom, yeah, we can stream video, audio, everything you want. We can play movies, watch movies. We can upload and output movies. It's just a great old bandwidth world here. Well, more and more communities all over the place are getting this now. And while they're not maybe getting 50 to 150 megabits per second, they certainly are getting up into the 5, 10, and 15s. And, that's certainly enough to stream and certainly enough to start getting really more immersed, I guess is the word in this social media thing. And companies aren't stupid either. You look at all the television networks now. AMC, HBO, NBC, ABC, CBS, all these major media companies. What are they doing? Well, they're starting up their own production companies for a lot of stuff, and that's really nothing new because even back in the days of, TV series like Magnum PI and Dallas, they would have their own production companies for that kind of stuff in-house with the networks. But now we're getting into the Tudors and the Game of Thrones and the Walking Deads and the et cetera, et cetera. The list goes on. Every time we turn around, there's a new Netflix original series. And don't get me wrong, Netflix puts out some top-notch production, I'll tell you that. But it's more and more. House of Cards. Oh, we got that huge film actor, Kevin Spacey. He's in House of Cards. You've got a huge film actor doing television series. But technically, it's not television. It's streaming series. That's the new face. That's where we're going. And, of course, what do they do with that? Well, they stick all kinds of advertising all over it, don't they? Look at your Facebooks even. More and more ads from Facebook have cropped up over the last couple of years, haven't they? To the point where now they're in everything. Every page on Facebook you load, there's somebody else's ad. You load up your own page. If you go and make your own page, like we've got one for HTLA, for example, that's our own page. They've got ads on that. We're not getting paid for that. No. Oh, well, they say you don't pay for Facebook, so screw you. Right? But they've got that constant thing going. They're constantly making money. And we think it's just cool because we can just do all our stuff here for free. Well, one of those terms of service updates I was talking about earlier is that all the content you put there becomes their property. Oh, yeah. You betcha. Yep. Your life, property of Facebook. How do you feel about that? You know, it's funny. We've got a real problem in the United States here. Everybody's worried about, well, they're listening to our phones and they're monitoring our emails and they're doing this, that, and the next thing. Well, anybody that knows me and has indeed been a Crash Talk listener for a couple of years, you know full well that back in 1998, or was it 97? 1998, I'm pretty sure. Yours truly was busted as a terrorist by the FBI. Yes, while I was in Canada. They just fired out a RCMP liaison officer with the group of them when they came to raid me. And why? Why did they come and raid me as a terrorist way back in 1998 when it wasn't cool to be a terrorist? Simple. Some things I said in an email to a friend of mine in Vancouver. Yeah. That's right. Fact. I've even got the nice little letter from the RCMP Constable Zimmerman about a month after the raid thanking me for my cooperation. Yeah, that's it. They raided me in 1998, and you Americans right now, and they did that in Canada, by the way, and you Americans right now are sitting there thinking that the government isn't listening to your phones, tapping your emails. It's laughable. Yes, and Devlon Crawford says, hence the largest part of my life is not on social media. Amen, sister. I'll tell you right now, not only do I not have, nor have I ever had a cell phone, I will not have Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter or any of that stuff. If I wasn't ordered to by the corporate part of HTLA, yes, Kate Taylor, I wouldn't have that stuff. It's just ridiculous. And then, of course, the fact that these companies all claim ownership of my stuff just because I put it on their website, that to me is just staggering. That whole ideology that Americans have rights and Americans are free and Americans this and Americans that, it's all crap. It's not true. Everybody here is bought and paid for by these social media companies. And if you don't believe me, just ask them. They'll tell you. Well, I'm going to close up the show. I'm running, I'm running over. What the hell? I do have to close it up. And what can I close it up by saying? I don't know. Go see the movie Unfriended? Don't go see the movie Unfriended? Wait till Saturday and watch it free on YouTube and just suffer through the 20 or 30 sets of YouTube commercials? I don't know what I'm telling you. What am I telling you about the movie? Is it good? Is it bad? Well, I'll give them that the entire movie takes place on a computer screen as being innovative as far as filmmaking goes. I will give them that. Beyond that, I don't know any of the actors. The director, okay, I know him from, Lincoln Vampire Hunter, which was a fun and entertaining movie. And he did that well, but it seems like a strange turn of events for him to do a movie like this. But he has, and that's okay. I think the real question is, what are we as a society going to glean from it? Are we just going to disappear for 2 hours and just get lost in the murder of these 6 people in a Skype chat? And if so, okay. Or are some of us out there actually going to utilize a little bit of their brain power and go, these kids are really pathetic. They're on social media all the time. It's all they do. They talk about ridiculous shit. There's nothing really substantive here. And then ask the question, well, wait a minute. Do I do the same thing? If that happens, I'll be excited and giddy as a schoolgirl because, why? Well, because I'll know that somebody else out there actually thinks the same way I do. Somebody else out there might walk into Times Square and look around and say, Houston, we have a problem. And that's really what I think I'm looking for. Well, that is all the time. That is all the time we've got today. Yeah, thank you. I want to thank HTLA Radio 1 at New York for having me on again, and all of you for joining me tonight and tuning in and listening. Once again, you can, of course, get the podcast after the fact, Spreaker.com and iHeartRadio.com, as well as downloadable on Stitcher and iTunes. Yeah. Don't forget, tomorrow, we do have Coffee and Cigarettes at its regular time, 3 p.m. Eastern. Absolutely. That is not going to change. Trust me, we do not have another interview scheduled during Coffee and Cigarettes. And we're going to also be doing that special edition Straight Talk tomorrow night. Yes, 8 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be The Road Within, Robert Patrick, and a hell of a great movie. You're going to love it. So hope to see you then. And if not, or otherwise, have an absolutely great night. Good night.
Radio 1 in New York City proudly presents Crash Talk.
Gentlemen, HTLA 97.3 FM in New York proudly presents rock superstar Crash Jesus.
We're New York's best talk radio, HTLA Radio 1.